And so, what? Why politics? Why political science? I enjoy it personally. But what made you want to get involved in it?
I mean, it's political science for me. I like the data side of it. I'm really big into data. Let's quantify the problem.
Okay.
Let's put a number with this. And political, like these political problems that we're having, let's put some numbers on them. Because we often talk about what's going on as Black people, especially. A lot of the issues that we have is in our lived experience. And people always say, "What do you mean? Look at these numbers." Da 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 da. It's like, well, how can we quantify the pain that we're feeling, right? How can we articulate it, right? And that's where the political theory comes in, because political science is it's a social science, and it does have a quantitative side to it, right? So when you look at the theory, it's like, how do we articulate our struggles, right? How can we put words on how we are feeling? Because if we don't have a vocabulary to express our struggles, then we're never going to get anywhere, right? We go talk to these people and we're just sounding like blah, 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 blah. We don't have the words. And so that's what I noticed. And I really wanted to get into the government, right? Like you said, I didn't know enough about my state and local governments, right? I need to understand how this system works that we're in. We're in this system. How does this system work? How does it operate? How do these pieces of legislation come through? What are the procedures? What is the norms, right? The norms of politics that the average person might not know. And so that's what really got me interested in that. And I feel like politics is an instrument for change.
Okay.
So any change that's going to happen in the Black community is going to be a political change. Whether it's a political change within the Black community, right, as a body, or the way that we conduct politics in the United States, or the United States politics on us, right? The United States force politics on us.
I'll push back on that a little bit, because I think that the economic change would be the most lasting change, and it's a change that will help us become a bit more independent from the day-to-day of the American political system, because I think that a lot of Black people are relying on the government to solve their problems. And this is not me saying a bunch of people sitting around on their ass like welfare. No. That's not where I'm going with this. It's that people are looking for the government to right some wrongs, change procedures, fix things, instead of working to circumvent the government to fix their own problems. Because at the end of the day, if you got the green, you have the cash, you have the money, you have the assets, you can get what you want either through the government or outside of the government. I was watching a doc post-election time about how so many donors, they just donate so they can go knock on someone's door. It's not even about political affiliation. It's not about ideological affiliation. It is just so that they can have access to the people. So if we can get the means to the access, and then we can also gain more financial independence, I think that is the step to the liberation of the Black American. But I'll tell you, I really appreciate people like you, because you like the numbers. How do we quantify this? I'm a theory guy. I don't even want to work in politics. Like, I was a political science undergrad, and I love politics in a vacuum. Love it in a vacuum. But when you actually add in human behavior, economic ramifications, media manipulation, actual no shit good media journalism and reporting, right? You throw all that stuff in there, you have something that's already complex being made even more complex.
Right.
I just want to sit here and come up with ideas and let people like you go try to put them into action and see if they work. And I say, well, the theory is this right here, and here's how my theory can work.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. For me, it's like, everything is connected, right? You know, there's a new field emerging. It's called PPE, right? It's called philosophy, politics, and economics.
Okay.
These three are closely connected. You know, a lot of people don't understand how closely connected they are. You know, the government can't just do any economic policy at once unless it's politically, politically acceptable. If the people don't accept it politically, then it's never, the economics aren't going to go through, right? You see, that's what happened with the stimulus checks, right? We should have gotten more, but there was not enough political support behind us getting $2,000 checks, $3,000 checks, right? There wasn't enough political support behind that. And I'm not saying that, you can just say, forget economics, right? Because I'm a big believer in, us as Black people coming together and starting to use our dollar wisely, right? Okay. Starting to establish business and industries of our own, right? That we call our own, that we run.
Okay. I like the word industries.
Right, industries. Not just businesses, industries.
Exactly.
Get into the industry. I'm talking about like the hair industry, right? Yes. So what I'm saying, like, it's all of this is connected. You're not gonna, you can move up economically but still be trash politically, right? You see this amongst Asian Americans, right? They move up very well in society as far as economics, but politically they're still very weak, right? Their needs aren't necessarily heard by the government.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, they're rarely even heard, because how often, like up until recently, how often were we talking about Asian hate in America? It was just not a topic of conversation. After doing just a little bit of background research, obviously, I think coronavirus and the previous administration definitely amplified some of those things, but it didn't just start then.
No, it didn't.
It's just like unarmed shooting of Black people didn't start with Jesus Christ. I'm losing my fucking memory. What's my guy's name?
Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, him. But I was thinking about the shooting in Missouri.
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown. There we go. Yeah. So it didn't start then, but the message really took off around that point in time. So you need the political, the economic, and obviously the entertainment to all be there. Today, right now, I think the economic freedom can excuse you from a lot of the other political bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, some people believe that, but that's in a see, and I always tell people this, this society that we live in isn't guaranteed. You understand? We have to, political rights are essential. You can only do so much that the government allows you. It wasn't that long ago that Black people couldn't work certain places.
Right.
It wasn't, and it was because there's an element of politics you have to get into to even participate in the economy. You have to be politically allowed in. If the government decided one day, say they just got in there and said, screw it, we're gonna get rid of all this. Well, I mean, what could your money doesn't mean anything. I mean, it only means so much. If they say, well, you Black person can't buy any property, you are not allowed to own property in the United States, no matter how much money you have.
So that's when you figure out who's driving those decisions, right? Because we find out how people vote for stuff, and now that's where you have your civil unrest. It's being outside of Mitch McConnell's house with your posters. Like, I'm going to get on your nerves. How can I take money out of your pockets, right? How can I chop at the level of influence you have? Anything that I can take from you